And we are live. Welcome everyone to the 66th episode of Coaster Time. I'm your host, Kara Gilgan, and as always, we will be doing many different segments, and if you want to know what exactly is happening in this stream, make sure to check out the itinerary in the description down below. But today we are also joined by a very special guest who is none other than Riley from That's So Mid. So Riley, it's great to have you here. How are you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. It's the morning, Sunday morning here in Australia. Saturday night over there, right?
It is Saturday afternoon in California, but for our people in the Eastern time zone, it is definitely nighttime. So, uh, definitely the farthest time difference ever for one of these streams. So, really appreciate you being on here with that in mind. So,
Yeah, no worries.
um, it is absolutely crazy, just the time difference for sure.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
But with that being said, we're going to go straight into our first segment, which is going to be our North American Park Blind Ranking Challenge. So I have 100 parks on this massive wheel. We will both be taking turns, basically kind of um, getting the parks and trying to rank them. So that's going to be the plan. I'll go first just to show kind of how it works. And actually, I need to get another document up, so I will do that really quick here.
I'm not gonna lie, I have PTSD from wheels, so it's freaking me out a bit.
Yeah, and from your standpoint, I definitely can understand it. So, um, but yeah, actually, I need to reshare this because um, the way it
You're
was
right.
shared initially. Um,
What's up, chat?
Wasn't a
Michael,
lot. I see
Corey,
Michael in
and
the
Jen.
chat, Corey and Jen, Frontier Coaster, Zero Bree roll,
Hey, Bree,
hello.
what's up? Frontier Coasters.
Let's
What's
see
going
how.
on?
Okay, I think this is the way it is. So let me just make sure. Perfect. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, so we got the wheel up. Oh, whoa, okay. Don't know what happened. Let's get it back. There we go.
There we go.
Alrighty. So I will shuffle this one time. I forgot to do that in the last one. We got some pretty scuffed results because of it. With
This is
Mark
your spin?
actually.
This is your spin?
This is my spin. I'll
Okay.
I'll go first just to do it. So like I said, 100 North American parks. At the end, you'll vote on which of us has the better blind ranking. I get Legoland California. I'm going to put that at. Man, I kind of have to
Ooh.
put it at 10 just
Okay.
because I don't think that many people will have strong feelings about this park. Just from like a coaster lineup, they don't really have much. I've been to this park. I personally enjoy it. Definitely on the expensive side, but for kids and families, it's a good park. It's just for this, it's not going to be super high. So, got to put it at the 10.
That's fair.
All right, this will be your wheel spin, your first park.
All right. Come on.
And you see it on your
Ooh.
screen?
Okay. I went here for the first time. This isn't the Kissimmee one. This is the Orlando one. So
Mm-hmm.
I went here last year. It was okay. White Lightning's great.
It is.
Freedom Fly is a really good family coaster,
I agree
but
there as well.
it was so expensive. I remember I walked into this park. It was like 9 p.m. So I was just doing like a night thing, and I was like, I want to ride the 3 coasters once and then leave. And then the dude was like, yeah, you might as well just buy an all rides wristband. And I was like, no, I just want to ride them once and then leave. He's trying to like upsell me the wristband for like $50. I was like, nah. I think it cost me like 30 USD to get the 3 coasters.
Yeah, I think if actually, yeah, probably that would make sense because I think it's 12 for the first two and then the kiddie coaster is 6, so 30 in total sounds about right.
I don't know if I'm going to go 10 as well. Let me go 9. Let me go 9. I feel like I might get a worse one. So I'll go
I
9.
think that's a smart choice, so I can respect it. I also enjoy Fun Spar Orlando. Admittedly, I've been able to get discounts through my work. That also has gotten me into both parks, so
Okay.
it's gotten a little bit of a better deal there. But I can definitely, if you just do pay per ride, it is pretty crazy expensive. So,
Yeah.
alrighty, I'll spin the wheel here. And all right, looks like I got Six Flags New England. So, different conversation with this park. I have never been here, but obviously they're known for their great top two in Wicked Cyclone and Superman the Ride. They obviously have an upcoming coaster in Quantum Accelerator, which looks quite good. Generally heard this is maybe a little bit better than middle of the pack for a Six Flags park, but kind of in that like range, not like super high tier. That being said, I am still going to put it at 4 because I think it's pretty strong in its coaster lineup. And I know a decent amount of people that have enjoyed their time here, so I'm going to put it at 4 for that reason.
Pretty good spot.
All right. Spin it for you. We'll see what you get.
All right. What we got? What we got? Okay.
Adventure Dome. I don't know if you've been here.
Is
This
this
is in Las
Vegas?
Vegas. Yeah,
Okay,
it's the
yeah.
coaster that has, sorry, not the coaster, the park that has Canyon Blaster, the Aero Looper that interacts with the Rockwork, and they have an SNSL Loco as well.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna go 8.
okay.
I'm
I
gonna
think
go
that's
8.
respectable. I have
Because
been here, but it's been so long. I couldn't give you much in terms of intel on it, unfortunately.
it does look cool. Yeah, I've never been there, but yeah, it looks interesting. So I think it was either 8 or 10, and I think I'll leave 10 open for like
Yeah, I would too.
something to. All right.
All right, so it gets crazier in the later rounds because you
True.
kind of are just at the absolute mercy of the wheel at that point. So, alrighty, this is gonna be Frontier City, another park I have not been to, but smaller
Hard one's
park,
good.
obviously. Yeah, and it's tricky to get to. In Oklahoma City. Um, I've heard it's like it's a small park, but it's more charming compared to a lot of other Six Flags parks. Does, I do like kind of the old Western like theme and vibe it kind of has just looking at pictures and footage of it. Obviously, the coaster lineup isn't like super large, and you have Diamondback and Silver Bullet heading that, but I think I'm gonna put this at 7. Just because it's still a relatively recognizable park. I think I've heard people enjoy their time here as well. It's just not anything super crazy. So there you go.
Bree. 15 years, Bree. Oh my gosh.
That's a good while. Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty, what are you gonna get? I don't know which one
Go
of
up.
these.
Okay. Okay. Now I can start going a bit higher.
So where are you gonna put Studios Florida?
I'm gonna put this at a respectable 3.
That's
Or 2
honestly
though.
you 3 or 2.
I think I'll go 3
Okay.
because I do love it. It's not as good as Islands, but it's good. It's a good park.
Yeah, I honestly I'd probably put this at 3 too. I really enjoy it. I think it gets bashed on a lot because I don't think they have like a true elite attraction per se. But they still have a lot of very good quality rides. Rip Ride Rocket, Men in Black, Revenge of the Mummy. Actually, the Born Stuntacular is fantastic. I will say that.
I think I said in my video last time I went there that honest because I think the Mummy was my favorite, and I'm not sure if the Mummy or Born Stuntacular is my favorite attraction in that park now because Born is just it blows your mind. It's
It
crazy.
it does. For me, it is my personal favorite like just thing to do in the park. Um, but my favorite ride's actually Rip Ride Rocket.
Oh, okay. Oh, you
But
don't have long to get.
yeah, I know. I'm not gonna be able to rewrite it unfortunately, but I kind of knew that going in, even though it wasn't announced, so I don't feel too bad. Oh, and Zero Rule went to college in
I
Oklahoma.
think I told
Nice.
Bree to go watch that Because a lot of people don't like think about watching it because it's kind of in a weird spot as well. Like it's kind of tucked away. So if you don't know about it, you're probably not going to go see it.
Yeah, I was there with a friend who really liked it, and so uh, he pretty much required me to see it, but it was definitely a great choice. So I actually watched it a few times by the end of it. So okay, I this is my role. This is Mount Olympus. Okay, that's an interesting park.
I heard it's a very safe park.
Yeah.
Very
Um,
safe.
definitely has a reputation just for the way it's operated and the overall vibes of it. That being said, I mean they got Hades 360. They have a nice wooden coaster lineup. They have a good water park attached to it as well in terms of size. I think I am gonna put this at 6.
That's a pretty good spot, I reckon. Yeah.
So because I feel like it's gonna have more to it than some of the other things we have, but I can't put it that high because it's reputation. I mean, it is what it is. So,
All right.
alrighty, let's see what your next one is. Okay, you got Silver Dollar City.
Now I haven't been here because
Okay.
the wheel didn't send me here, but it was my number one bucket list park to go to last year. How many parks are better than this?
Unfortunately I haven't been, but I mean some people think it's the best park in the US. So I mean, up to you.
I think the only parks that would top it would be like Disneyland and Islands. Am I going to get that? The chances are probably not, so I'm going to put this at 1. I'm going to do it. Even though I haven't been there. Because actually Dollywood's my favorite theme park outside of a Disney and Universal. And apparently it's better than Dollywood. Or probably on the same level, so I'm going to do it. Was that a bad choice?
No, I don't think so. If I got it, I would have put it at 1, even though I haven't been.
Okay.
Because I think you could kind of justify it over almost any other option, which if you get something like that, I mean, for me, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to put it at 1. A park that is not in that conversation, though, is Fun Spot Atlanta.
Great park. I love that.
Another park, it's crazy. I have family that live in Atlanta, but I haven't been there in ideal conditions because the last time I went, I ended up there in a long layover situation this last winter. That I obviously couldn't ride it because it was snowing. So I'm probably gonna put this. I think I got to put it at 9.
I love that park. Even though it has like no theming. Looks like
It has Air Force One, which is incredible.
and Hurricane. Don't forget about Hurricane. No, it's your list. You go for it.
You're having. I think I gotta stick with it at 9.
That's fine. That's fine.
Because I mean it pretty much is just Air Force One, and I mean if you enjoy Hurricane, you got that as well. But I mean I don't think I can put it much higher.
That's fair.
Alrighty, let's see what your next one is. Oh boy. You get Wild Waves. This is up in near Seattle. It's in Washington. Fun fact, I passed by this park and did not visit and didn't regret doing so. So that might speak to the quality of park you're dealing with.
I don't even know what's in this park. This park was on my map when I was doing the Compass Challenge. If I ever made it all the way over to the to the West Coast, but
So they have an arrow. I think I think it's an arrow corkscrew. It might be more of a no. I think it is a corkscrew model, and they have like a not so great S&S wooden coaster and like some other family oriented coasters. The biggest problem with this park is a lot of people go and stuff's not open, so that's a significant complaint.
7 or 10 chat. 7 or 10.
Hey, that's fair. To resort to that.
I might go 7. I don't know.
DJ says 10.
DJ says 10. No, but we're leaving that open for Six Flags St. Louis.
I was wondering if that shows up in here. That'd be so funny.
Because if I have to put Six Flags St. Louis higher than 10, I'll be pissed. Put it at 7. Put it at 7.
All right.
Always.
All right. Chat is telling you otherwise, but
Sorry, chat. Got to cover my back here.
honestly, I would have put that at 10. But well, I couldn't because but like if I had your specific listing, that's where I would have put it. Okay, I got Lagoon here.
Ooh.
This is a very interesting one. It's between like 5 and 3 because I've heard legitimately great things about this park. Obviously, it's like really expensive. But like they have a good sized coaster lineup. Cannibal looks awesome. Primordial I've heard is really interesting. They got Wicked and Roller Coaster as well. They actually have a pretty nice looking flat ride lineup too, as well. Even like a few dark rides, more I think kind of classic style, but I think honestly I'm gonna put this at 3.
Okay.
I've heard
Those look good.
I've heard really good things. It's a park I've wanted to go to for so long, being on the West Coast, but it's kind of hard to get to just being in Salt Lake City. So,
Yeah. I was pretty close to it. When I flew from Orlando to where did I fly to? San Jose. I had a layover in Salt Lake City.
well, then you've been closer to it than I have, so that's something.
Yeah, I wanted to go, but
All right, let's see what your next one is. Oh boy,
ooh,
Little America. I gotta.
nah. Have you seen the train here?
I
It's
think
like one of the coolest theme park trains ever.
I think I may have seen you. I think you did either. Did that show up in the wheel challenge, or
No,
was
I didn't
no?
go there. I
Oh,
wanna
okay,
go
you didn't
there.
go.
To be honest, I just want to ride that toboggan coaster.
Oh God.
I want to ride it, but apparently the train's good as well because it goes out into like a cornfield just in the middle of nowhere.
I remember seeing a video of it. It did look like a pretty sick like train ride at a park.
I'm not gonna lie, I've got a really high top 2, and then I've just got some pretty bad parks. I don't want to put it at 10. But I might have to.
Hey,
I'm
it's
sorry.
your call.
I'm sorry, Little America. No, I'll put it 6. Put it 6.
All right, okay. I respect it. You're sticking to the strategy.
Let's go.
I mean, honestly, compared like with the list, the parks here on the. I mean, I haven't been to 2 of them, and one of them I haven't been to in forever. But honestly, I mean, I it doesn't seem that crazy. So we'll see how
I
this
low-key
goes.
like the little like family run parks. Like when I went to Beach Bend, I had like the best time ever.
Beach Bend actually was fun. I do agree. Okay, I got ZDT. Speaking of which,
With Switchback or not?
well, if the park is the reason ZD or Switchback is being sold is because ZDT's is also gonna close at that point.
Ah.
The family's retiring. I think this has got to go at 8.
I think so,
Just based on how it's gone. Well, again, another park that I've heard nice things about. Just like people have enjoyed going. Obviously, I have Switchback, which is really cool. And I've heard it's a nice little place overall. But 8 is about as good as we're gonna go with that. So
All right. Give me Six Flags St. Louis. I want to put you at 10. Oh,
okay, this is an interesting one you got over Georgia.
I had the worst day here in 2023, but it has so much potential. I think the smart thing to do is put it at 4.
Okay, yeah. Honestly,
So,
That I think is very sound. So,
So on this day, I forgot to ride Monster Mansion, so that's my fault. So maybe the park would have been better if I went on that, but I forgot it was at this park. And the operations on Batman at this park were so bad. So, yeah, it has a lot of potential, but I don't know, you just got to go off your visit, unfortunately.
yeah, Over Georgia's interesting in my case because fortunately I went where it like most of the schools in the local area had started, so the park was completely dead. The operations were atrocious. Like Twisted Cyclone, I kid you not, was doing like 10-minute dispatches. Like not even joking. I wish I was, but to be fair, it's like there was hardly anyone there, so I mean, you just had to wait a train or two. But so I enjoyed my visit, but definitely I've heard a bit of mixed reaction in terms of what people have experienced. So I can get that. Let's see. Next park for me is going to be. Oh, please, please, please be the. Don't go anymore. Okay, Disneyland is going one.
Yeah.
This is my number one overall park. One of the greatest ride lineups in the entire world. Just with like the dark rides. I mean, they have Indiana Jones and Rise of the Resistance in the same park. That's insane. Just the theming in general. All the areas look fantastic. And it's just so much to see, experience, and do really at this park. I mean, so many memorable rides along with the ones I mentioned. You got Space Mountain, Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin, Smuggler's Run. Now Mickey and Minnie Minnie's is over there too. It's like they're super stacked. There's like a ton of rides I'm not even mentioning, so it's got to be one for me.
Yeah, I would have done the same thing. All right. What we got? Oh, shout out my boy Coaster Cuzzies. Ooh.
Where are you thinking for Worlds of Fun?
It's gonna have to go 5.
Okay.
I think, yeah. I've never been there. Some people have a good day, some people don't have a good day. I think it's like a hit and miss with that park. But what they're doing with their woodies now, you're going at 5.
Yeah, it seems like more so in recent years. I've definitely heard more just mixed experiences there, which is not ideal, obviously, if you're on the worst end of that. I haven't been there either, so can't really say too much. Okay, all right.
Ooh.
Oaks Amusement Park. I have been here. It's in Portland, Oregon. Oh my. So well, it's going in at 5. I kind of have no choice. It's a very small park. Like it is like really tiny. And it's the main coaster here is going to be Adrenaline Peak. They have a nice flat ride collection. Although I didn't like the the classic looping flat ride. It just wasn't for me. But they have like one of those rare ones left. I think Rolo Plane is what it's called, or Rocco Plane. I think Rocco Plane. And then they have like the oldest skating rink in America, I believe, or something like that, which I was able to do. So they have some cool stuff, but obviously kind of a tough draw to put it at 5. So,
All right. I got one good and one bad. One good, one bad.
well,
I'm going to have to do it. It's going to have to go 10. I've never been there.
poor Canopy.
Where's this one located?
It is a little north of Boston. I think it's in New Hampshire. It showed up on your GeoGuessr. I know that on the series.
That's right, yeah.
I've
Right.
I've heard it's a nice park, but I mean, yeah, you kind of have to leave 2 open because I mean, but I have.
Two open. This is crazy.
Yeah, we both have 2 open. This is, oh boy.
Oh, Bree had that. Bree saying she but yeah, I guess there you go.
Yeah, there you
Oh
go.
yeah, she thought it was Knobles. Ooh, go skate.
Oh, that's tough.
It's a solid 2. Bobcat. Bobcat's that good.
I mean,
It's not bad. You could have got worse.
yeah. I haven't been here. Again, I've heard, especially in recent years, definitely like nice and positive things about the park, but it is on the smaller side, so it's just a little tough to have it at 2.
DJ saying, imagine if I get Six Flags St. Louis now.
No,
Please
no.
no.
Someone
Please
called
no.
out. Someone called out the
Rage
last one. You're not getting it. You're not getting it. There's no way.
Mexico? I'll take Mexico.
Yeah, that's actually.
It's probably not better than Universal Florida. If I could switch those two, I would, but that's all right.
Yeah, I have Studios Florida over Mexico, having been to both, but I do enjoy. I did enjoy Mexico quite a bit in my visit. So honestly, I think that I think yours is better than mine, to be honest.
Well, my like, what 6 to 10 is you could probably switch 6 to 10 quite a lot, and people would have different opinions about all of them.
Alrighty, so I'm gonna get the poll ready.
So they vote live now.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
So who has the most accurate park lineup? And then, like I said, I'll also post this on Instagram just to get different results. But usually, I actually in every one I've done, the one that's won on stream has also ended up winning on Insta as well. I think you beat me. Or well, no, I just I just put it up now. They're coming in, but I'm just saying personally, I would probably vote for you, honestly. I think Great Escape massively, well, that and Oaks Park kind of mess with the list a little bit. But honestly, I mean, all the parks I got, I can genuinely say like I actually enjoy them. It's just, comparing them up against each other. And I feel like all of these I'd have a good time at. So Mount Olympus kind of being a wild card, just depending on how it is the dam there. But
yeah.
Wild Wave should not be 7.
Hey. You said that was your home park? I think, DJ? Possibly.
No. He think he's New England region. So
Okay.
he was mad about Canopy because I think he's closer to that. Yeah, Canopy.
Oh, okay.
Nah, he's saying that Wild Wave's too high.
To me, even though I've never been there, sometimes visiting those little parks can change your opinion on it. So,
Well, the problem is Wild Waves. It's not like a family-owned park. It's a Premier Parks, which they own Elitch Gardens,
not that bad.
Magic Springs,
I went
like
to English Gardens. Okay, I see.
My friend actually did have a good visit to Elitch. Sidewinder was actually open, and most of the stuff was actually open, surprisingly.
That's like the only reason to go there.
Yeah, and in his case, it was open, so that's good.
Wow.
Yeah, you won. I'm looking at the votes right now. You have 75% to 25%, and I'm trying to count. Yeah, because the way it is, even if I got the remaining ones, I'd still be down. So, we're gonna crown you the champion for this. So
Yes.
let me put it up. But Riley, you are the champion today of our blind park ranking. So congratulations.
Let's go. Oh, look at this. I love this. This is amazing.
So there you go.
Marty, what's up, Marty?
Oh yeah, Marty in the chat. How you doing? And then we'll move on to our next segment, which will be one that all of you can participate in, and this is the quiz. So I will get this one up here, but it's going to be a 10-question quiz. You'll answer in the chat. Riley, you can answer just live pretty much.
Okay.
So nothing too complicated there. Just for the rules, you can see them here, but it's going to be 10 multiple choice theme park and roller coaster trivia. This one I made, I think, a little more difficult than the last one because there's a lot of good scores on the last one. So this one will certainly be more difficult. Don't use Google or CDB, ChatGPT. You get the gist. Your first answer will be your final answer, and then in a tiebreaker situation, the person who gets the most recent question correct wins. So that's going to be the way it goes. We're going to get started here pretty quick with our first question, which is, which of these coasters is the oldest of the ones listed? So, oh yeah, and then there's also a 45-second time limit, which if this worked, I think it's...
It's
Oh,
not
the
counting
thing
down.
is not... Why is it not counting down?
Quick, we get extra time. Quick.
Oh, wait, you know what? I know I did it the wrong way. So for this one, I'll just switch it over once we get over it. But anyways, the timer has started. It's not going to show up on here, but I'll change it in a bit. I realize what I did. But you have about 30 seconds now to answer. So
I'm gonna be so bad. Like when I decided to start spinning wheels last year, I decided to not do any research anymore. So I don't really go on RCDB. I don't really do anything. So I'm clueless of this one. We got a lot of D answers in the chat.
alrighty, you got 5 seconds.
Marty says C. Marty's pretty smart.
All right, time is
Wait,
up.
am I answering?
Yeah, you can answer. What's your
Oh.
final answer? I'll wait for yours.
No one said B yet, so I'll just get B to be different. I don't know.
Alrighty, well, the correct answer here is D, Grizzly at King's Dominion. So just to check it over, DJ is on the board with a point, as
Hey,
is
B was the
history.
second oldest. Just saying, chat. Just saying. I
Hey,
didn't know
yeah,
it was
you're
that
right.
old. Oh, they just retracked that, didn't they?
Yes, they have been doing multiple, yeah, they recently retracted. So
I think I wrote it half retract, and it was the retract part was great. But apparently, it's like all retract now. So
okay, so just to make sure, I got DJ on the board, History and Leisure, Michael, and Zero Reroll all are on the board. I'm going to quickly switch it because the way I put this in was incorrect, so that's why the timer wasn't going off. So
No, you're right.
I will do that real quick. And let's see. I have to do it via tab because I can't do it via the what's it called, the thing. So let's see. Actually got to try again. Okay, it should be this one. There we go. All right, I will take this out, and then I will get this one going. All right, so... All right, we'll go on to question 2, and now the timer's working. So there we go. Which of these companies has never owned lake compounds? This is, of course, because of it was recently acquired, if you've been following up on the news of late. So which of these companies has never owned lake compounds?
well, obviously Palace has because they run it into the ground. I really hope that this. Who's the new company?
Hershend.
Hershend, that's right. They bring this park back because when I was there, it has so much potential to be an amazing park, so much potential. And Palace just did not give a crap about it.
Alrighty, timer is up. Riley, what's your answer for this?
Oh, I don't even know half the. What is Apex Parks? Never heard of that before. Let's go with. Would Hershey have owned it? Oh, it gives me the vibes. Let's go A. Don't know.
Alrighty, you're going A. Well, the correct answer here is actually going to be B, Apex Parks. Yeah, Hershey actually owned this for a very short time,
Okay.
but they did own it for a little bit.
I never even heard of Apex Parks.
Yeah, they owned shoot. Why am I forgetting what they own on the spot?
They're not relevant, that's why. You can't remember.
Yeah. Well, anyways, they do exist basically, but I just yes, right. They used to own Indiana Beach
Right,
before
okay.
Staples had it. So yeah. Oh, and Fantasy Island. Forgot about that. Okay. So let's see. Going through the answers, DJ has a second point. Charge on PC is on the board. And then we got
I agree, Marty.
Frontier
Indiana Beach is
Coasters.
amazing.
I want to go there. I've been to Indiana like twice now, but not in the right area, and so I haven't been. Although actually both times the reason I hadn't been was because All American Triple Loop was not open, so
Yeah,
I was waiting out on it.
When I visited, it had the over-the-shoulder restraint still, and it was opening at like 5 p.m. I don't know, like real late in the day, and I wasn't hanging around for it. I did not care about it.
Well, yeah, and at that point the reviews were like really bad, so
Yeah, people were saying you saved yourself. You would have had a broken neck for the rest of the trip. So
that's fair. All right, I tallied all the points, so we'll move on to question 3. Which of these parks closed most recently? Of these parks, all defunct parks, which of these closed most recently?
I don't even know what D is. What is D? Never heard that before.
Actually, if you've heard of Kong at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, the SLC used to operate as Hangman at this park. This is where it was originally from. So for those who are not a fan of Kong, you can thank this park for it. But it was like a park in I believe Nashville, Tennessee. So it sorely missed. Alrighty, so timer has run out. What's gonna be your final answer here?
I think mine is A.
Yours is A? Alrighty, well,
yeah.
the correct answer is indeed A. You're right. So you are on the board. Geauga Lake closed in 2007, making it the most recent. And then you can see the other years for Astro World, New Orleans, and Opryland. So I did it. Looks like almost everyone got this right. So let me just put in.
I think Marty's putting wrong answers only. That's what you're doing, Marty, right?
That is tough there. Let's see. Is this a trick question? No, it was not a trick question. I guess it was. I guess everyone knew that one. Okay. Well, there you go. Be lucky. Yeah, Frontier Coasters used to, and still will help me with some of the quizzes. But man, his were. If you think this is hard, they were crazy beforehand.
Okay.
All right. Which of these coasters, of all of these, is the tallest as far as height goes? So that is the question. And then for those curious, this would be taking either the tallest number between the height of the structure or the drop. So we would be taking that number. I don't think it actually matters too much here, but just to mention it. Already, timer is up, Riley. What is your guess?
I feel like this is a trick question where it's like A, because you wouldn't think of it full throttle being like the tallest, but it actually that loop's pretty big. I'm gonna go C though.
Okay.
I think Voyage is like 160 odd. I don't know. I'll go C.
Alrighty. So C. Correct answer is actually D. Superman Krypton Coaster at Fiesta, Texas. The highest point structure-wise is 168 feet. So that would make it the tallest in this case. Very, very much terrain helping with that.
Yeah.
In terms of the quarry wall, just because of how high it goes because of that. But let's see. So Frontier Coasters got another point. And then DJ as well is, I think, 4 for 4.
That's what see. Bree's saying the quarry part is pretty tall, but I thought that was like a mind trickery thing. Like you said, it looks big, but really it's not. But I guess it is.
Yeah, no. I mean, I haven't even been, but I mean, just from looking at pictures, it looks pretty crazy. So,
That's good.
alrighty. Number 5. According to RCDB, which of these countries has the most roller coasters? That is the question.
It can't be Australia. We've got like 30. No one put B. I was thinking. See, I'm thinking what everyone else is thinking. Because I don't think Sweden has that many. Groenland. Groenland's in Sweden, right?
Yeah.
That is like half of Australia in one park. 1/3 of Australia. I was gonna say C, but everyone else is saying C, so it can't be South Africa, right? Imagine. I'm going C. I'm going C.
Alrighty. Well, you were right. Correct answer is Denmark by a landslide. Has 48 coasters, so not even close as far as like all of these. So in South Africa, that was just kind of to throw it in there. But I was actually surprised they only had 10 coasters, considering they have like a notable park. So
Yeah, they really don't have many parks.
I guess I only knew of the one, but I'm like, wow, that is like actually most of the coasters they have are within that one park.
Yeah, Sweden 35. The size of Sweden compared to Australia, and they have 4 less than us. Like, pick up your game, Australia. I hear Australia has mid coasters. There's a good top 2 or 3, and then we just fall off, don't we?
I mean, to be fair, I mean, considering like only 39 coasters, I think the quality is actually like pretty good considering.
Yeah, it's pretty decent. I don't know. It's because when you live here and you ride them so often, it's just like
That's true.
You know.
Yeah. Let's see. So right now, DJ is 5 for 5, so DJ's in the lead. History and leisure, Michael, Zero Bree roll are right behind with 4 points. So that's where the leaderboard is at. And then, yeah, I think there we go in terms of those ones. But all right, next we'll move on to question 6. Which of these coasters has never made the Golden Ticket Awards top 25 or 50? It's top 50 list. 25 is like way old days, and all these coasters were built after they've gone to top 50. So, which of these coasters has never made the top 50 list for either their steel or wooden coasters? Guess away.
Where's Night Valley? Why have I never heard of that?
It's in China. This is basically that massive GCI coaster that's in the mountain that unfortunately has been SBNO for a few years, and I question if it'll ever reopen. Yeah, they recently updated it. The park is apparently not in great shape, and this is literally the only coaster they have, so hopefully it's not the end, but we'll see. Alrighty, Riley, which one are you going to go with?
I'm going with D.
Alright. Well, the correct answer here is indeed DC Rivals at Warner Bros. Movie World. Yeah, surprisingly, Wood Coaster has actually made the top 50, but it is amongst wooden coasters, so feels like a little bit of easier entry to get in. But DC Rivals has never been on there. I guess not enough coaster enthusiasts from America have been on it, so...
Yeah, that's exactly why.
Yeah. So, let's see. I think you were the only one who got that right, so... There you go. Alrighty.
Let's go.
I did not think that was the question that was going to throw everyone off, but there we go. Okay, so we'll move on to question 7. Which of these coasters lasted the longest in terms of like they operated the longest in their lifetime? So, not necessarily the one that closed the most recently, because well, obviously we would know that answer. But which of these coasters lasted the longest?
These are all around like 20 years, right? I mean, I don't even know what Hercules is. What the hell is that? Hercules.
A horrible old wooden coaster at Dorney
Okay.
Park. It was like really bad. It was nicknamed "Hurt Your Knees." Um,
That's
it,
amazing.
yeah, it was allegedly like so awful.
Okay. Ooh. I'm going C. No one said C, and I get a vibe of C. I'm probably wrong, but that's my
Okay,
vibe.
you're going with C. That is the correct answer. You've been on a roll.
What, chat? What?
So now you're up to 4 points, and Charged on
coming for you guys.
PC is also get a point for it.
Let's go,
So
Charged.
let's update the board. DJ is still in the lead, but now Charged on PC is within the group of those who have 4 points. So, yeah, I got you, Charged. And we'll move on to the next one. Which of these countries has never had an aerodynamics coaster? I think this is maybe where I started putting the more difficult ones, but we'll see.
Okay. This one's a tough one.
Answers are rolling in here, kind of all over the place.
I'm trying to think of.
Well, I can say one thing for certain, someone's going to get this right, but that's about all I can say. What's your final answer, Riley?
I'm going Spain. I don't think they have many parks, and I feel like India and Philippines would have got hand-me-downs.
All right. Well, the correct answer here is A, Germany.
That's very
They have
interesting.
never had one. Yeah, no, kind of surprising. I probably people might get confused actually because they have some. They have obviously the Vekoma mine train at Fantasia Land, which maybe some people might think it's an arrow. And they have a decent amount of Vekomas, but they don't have any arrows. Actually, I have ridden the one arrow in Spain, funnily enough.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at Port Aventura. So,
That's okay.
I've only park overseas I've been to is Port Aventura and Ferrari Land, but
Looks pretty good.
yeah, it very beautiful park, a lot of good rides. I did have to splurge for the fast pass just because of anyone who knows just how the lines are and everything, or the dispatches. It's not ideal. So Charge on PC is on the board
Nice.
again with 0.5. Marty also got a point.
Nice, Marty. Charged.
And I think that's it. So Charged and DJ are now tied. So there we go. Okay, so we'll move on to our ninth question, which is which of these IPs or intellectual properties has never officially been used for a roller coaster's theme? Just to preface, all of these have been used for like a form of ride, but one of these has never been used for a roller coaster specifically. Wow, everyone's, or almost everyone's going for the same answer so far. Already timer is up, right? What you got?
I'm going D. Let's go, Marty.
Alrighty. And the correct answer here is C. So Universal Studios Beijing has a kiddie coaster that's themed to it's themed to the Minions. It's in their Minions area. So that's the name of it. So
See, I knew the other two. I knew because Dreamworld in Australia had the Rugrats
Actually, multiple parks did, and they all had the same. They all had the same name. Can't
Oh,
explain.
really? Oh, they all had the same name.
Can't explain that. That is actually. I was like, wow, I didn't realize they all had the same name.
I didn't. Yeah. And then obviously we all knew A.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was just tossing up between C and D, and I haven't actually really looked into Universal Studios Beijing at all. So
That's fair. So, I mean, it's a kiddie coaster, not really anything too
I
crazy.
just thought some like park in the UK would have done Wallace and Gromit.
There's I believe Wallace and Gromit ride at Blackpool, but it's not a
Yeah.
coaster. So,
Yeah.
let's see. So Michael has another point. History and Leisure, Frontier Coasters as well. DJ. And Zero Bree Roll and Charged. Okay,
We got
so
one left. Let's do a score update before we do this next round.
yeah, let's do that. So Riley, you currently have 4 points. The leaders so far are tied DJ and Charged on PC. Based on tiebreaker rules, since let's see. I think so. If you tie, if actually, yeah, it would be whoever gets it first between DJ and Charged. If someone gets the next one first, if would win it.
Okay, so whoever
So
puts
yeah,
their answer in
yeah,
first.
yeah, and then in another situation, if both of them get it wrong, it's whoever gets it right amongst those who has 5 points, which is History and Leisure, Michael, Zero Bree Roll. All have 5, so that'll be it. So here we go, heading into question 10. Which of these coasters is not a relocation? Also, those of you who are not necessarily in the running, you can obviously still play. That's all good. So everyone can participate here. Which of these coasters is not a relocation? Everyone so far, as far as I can see, is going for the same answer.
Well, I'm not going to say D because you already told me before about the other one.
Oh, I didn't even realize I was in the quiz. I made it I made it a decent while ago at this point, so I forgot. But yeah, I guess I kind of spoiled that one, didn't I? Didn't even realize that, but that's almost a freebie right there. Alrighty, so what is going to be your
Everyone has said
ultimate?
A. Everyone has said A.
So you
And
want to?
I'm not winning anyway, so I'm going to say B. I don't care if I'm wrong. I'm just going to say B. It's probably A. Yep.
Yeah, correct answer is Big Dipper at Camden Park, and I believe Charged on PC was the first to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just barely on my
Just.
end. Barely. Very tight race between Charged and DJ, along with History and Leisure, Michael, Zero Bree Roll as well, who are just right behind as well. But with that being said, Charged will be our winner.
Nice. What's
I'm
up,
still
Jackson?
I'm still getting used to because Charged is not charged on PC anymore. So I think I said that a few times.
Yeah.
But Charge, you are the winner. Congratulations. Also good to see you here, Jackson. And we'll move on to our next segment, which will be Global Roller Coaster Roulette. So I'll kind of explain how this one works. Just need to get the, I think, rules up here for it. This is just going to be something that an exercise for basically me and Riley to kind of, we get another wheel. It's a wheel of 100 parks, but this one is from parks around the world. And so we're each going to get 3 parks, so 6 in total. And the park we land on is going to end up being the park that we have to choose, basically what we would pick to be their next new coaster. If that makes sense. It's not a competition. It's just, just doing it for fun. You can take this however you want to. If you're wanting to go with your just kind of dream unrealistic coaster for a certain park, you can go for that. If you want to go for what you think would be more realistic, we can go that route as well. But yeah, that's going to be Global Roller Coaster Roulette. Also, those of you in chat can definitely help out.
Yeah.
If you've been to a park that neither one of us has been to and can give some insight, or you have a suggestion, definitely suggest it. And then I will pull up the wheel again. I know what you said about wheels, but we got another one.
PTSD.
All right, I will.
At least this one's a digital one, so it's all good.
Yeah.
My one, did you see what happened to my actual one?
No, I haven't.
So if you watched episode 7 of the Mystery Wheel Challenge, right at the end, if anyone's seen that, I threw it into Lake Erie. I don't have it.
That's funny. All right,
This
I'll.
park needs a really fast accelerating coaster.
Do you want to take this? I guess we didn't line up who was going to take this one first. If you want to go for this, you can go.
No, I thought we were going together, but you go.
Yeah, no, we're doing it 3 separately, so we'll have 6 parks in total. I'll go first for this one just because. So Fuji-Q Highland is in a really weird spot just because they obviously got rid of Dododonpa. Obviously, due to unfortunate circumstances that like very unfortunate circumstances, you know, the future of Edge and Ica is potentially up in the air as well. So, and they just got a more family style coaster, so they definitely could do something more thrilling, just considering the circumstance that they're in. Marty does say they do need a wooden coaster. That would be cool to see, but this is man, this is actually kind of a hard one to come up with. I mean, you can also pitch suggestions.
Do they need a family coaster? Like
they did just add Zokon, which is like kind of a family type. I'm wanting to go more thrilling just because they've lost at least one, maybe even 2 thrilling coasters.
That's scary.
So they kind of do need something desperately.
Isn't Fujiyama basically a Woody?
You know, I guess they did get coasters that are pretty insane. So I would, and they don't have a spinner, so let's do a mock extreme spinner. This is also a park they're willing to spend, so for their coasters. I mean, Edge and Ica was ridiculously expensive, and even Zokon actually, if you looked at the price tag, was pretty crazy. So,
oh really? Okay.
Fuji-Q Highland, we're gonna go with a mock extreme spinner.
Nice.
And this especially, I mean, you could have this and Edge and Ica coexist, but if you lose Edge and Ica, which I would personally hate to see as like a top 3 bucket list coaster, you know, this kind of brings that really chaotic kind of disorienting experience back, I suppose.
That's true.
So
That's true.
I think it could work either way. And I mean, I feel like I like finding a fit for parks that could theoretically maybe get this. And this I feel like is like not entirely impossible. So I'll fit it in here.
Yep.
Alrighty, so I will spin the wheel. This will be the park you're deciding for. You might have to go to RCDB if
I got it up.
if needed. And this one is going to be Efteling, which is going to be kind of a tricky one, honestly, to do.
They've got dive. They've got wooden.
Racing wooden coaster.
What is Max and Moritz? Family coaster?
Mock powered family. Also dueling. I didn't think they have 2 dueling coasters. That's kind of weird.
Is it a water coaster?
Water coaster dark ride combination, basically.
Do they have a launch?
They do not. They do not have a launch coaster.
feel like that would be a good fit. Oh yeah, Marty's agreeing. Something
Yeah.
launched. Oh, everyone's. Sorry, I just looked at chat now and everyone's saying launch coaster.
To be fair, some of that I think was coming in as you were saying it, so.
Are we going Intamin or we going Mac chat? Or Mark, however you say it. What other company does launch?
You got Vekoma, Premier Rides. Those are, I mean, B&M is dabbling in it. Those are probably the main ones that you. Gerstlauer has launch coasters.
True. Mark, Intamin. Now you're just picking your favorites, chat. Now you're just picking your favorites.
SBF does have a launch coaster. That is true.
Really? Crazy.
Yeah.
Let's go. Gee. How thrilling are their thrill rides? Because you don't really have a standout, like, high, really
They
thrilling
have a
ones.
dive coaster. I mean, you got a dive coaster. You got a ridiculously smooth Vekoma looper because they retract it, and a GCI Woody. So.
I think. Because Mark's on the more tame side. But I feel like most of these are pretty. Like,
Yeah,
not-
they're not super intense.
We'll go Intamin chat. I reckon we go Intamin. Even though I think.
Actually, Gerstlauer probably isn't the best option because someone mentioned, but Hansa Park isn't too. Actually, I feel like it is kind of far away, but anyways, but there are other
Stardust.
mocks nearby. But are there any like mock launch coasters? Like what? Probably the nearest one is Bluefire at Europa Park, and that's probably pretty far away. So like,
Yeah. I'm thinking. Bree's been on Stardust. She's now you just
yeah,
bragging, Bree.
that's a flex.
I'm going something probably like Pantheon style. Although how close is Park Asterix? Kind of.
Oh, I think it's pretty.
Further enough away.
Yeah, although I have to look at a map. European parks are always tricky because it's like all the countries are close to each other, so it's like.
What if we put in? Because Efteling's got some pretty good theming, good landscapes. What if we put in that, whatever the one's going into Hollywood Studios? Not Hollywood Studios, Universal Studios Hollywood.
Oh, you're saying the Intamin multi-dimension coaster, but the one that has like the inversions and whatnot.
That'd be interesting. They probably don't need inversions, do they? That's got an inversion.
Up to you.
Oh, this is tricky. Nearest instrument is Taran. Okay.
To be fair, they don't have a spinning coaster right now, so like. For whatever someone asks, do we really need the spinning? It would be different from what they have, so.
More family launch. Yeah. I agree with Marty.
It's just up to you in terms of what exactly you want to choose.
Okay. Let's go an Intamin launch. Do I have to say like what coaster it's going to be close to, or just like an Intamin multi-launch? I don't know. Let me look up some.
I can look at like the normal, like the model that like say a Velocicoaster, like a Two Tootsies is like it's just called an Intamin LSM launch, which technically Tehran is actually not too far away. But if this one if it had inversions, and like those rides are like so, you can make them so different from each other that it could be like a completely different ride from Tehran. So,
Ooh, straddle coasters. Not a bad shout.
actually,
An intimate extreme.
I mean, Magic Mountain's getting a Vekoma suspended launch motorbike
Whatever that
coaster
is.
thing, so which I mean, I'm kind of excited for it just because I'm like it's gonna be really weird. So and I'm kind of like yeah, I'm up to for getting something like completely unique. So
I'm down with this Intamin straddle coaster. I personally think they're pretty mid, but I think for that park, I think that might fit pretty well.
all
Let's do
right,
that. Let's do that.
Intamin Strato coaster is the pick. I think they would probably go for if they were gonna do something launch, they probably would go for like the more family friendly route. So I think that's a good shout. Um,
Ooh, Big Bear Mountain.
Yeah, that also could have been. Which actually, considering their relationship with Vekoma, they could have been in play too. Um, let's see. All right, I got Six Flags Great America. Okay,
Have you been here?
no,
Yeah,
but
I haven't either.
um,
Chat, you
very
have to say.
interesting because they have a ton of coasters. Obviously, they're getting Wrath of Rakshasa this year. Also, should mention, if you want to remove a coaster for your theoretical coaster edition, that's fine. Like, just if you had an idea or something like that. I think the last stream we did this crazy one with like over Texas. They take out Shockwave and replace it with Switchback from ZDTs.
Okay.
Um, just something kind of goofy like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
what could, man, Great America has a lot of bases covered.
16 now.
Yeah, that's a lot. Wow.
Good luck.
I was kind of thinking a spinning coaster is low key kind of could be used here. That actually does kind of. I mean, they have a free spin, but that's like I mean, a normal spinning coaster is different enough. And I mean, when was the last time they added like more of a family style coaster? 2010. They definitely could be getting something like that. I'm honestly, oh yeah, right. They removed the Raging Cajun. So yeah, and you know what? I kind of do like it. It I I'm gonna go with I just like their spinning coasters quite a bit. So they could go with Gerstlauer, but I'd hope they'd go for something a little different than a Pandemonium clone. But I'm gonna change it up for this. I'm gonna do a just normal like mock spinner, like think like a Sierra Sidewinder. I think it'd be like a nice little or not even little, but you know like a family coaster edition there. And it would give them something different from what they have. So, and their last five coasters were all like big, more thrilling attractions. So, I think this is a nice change of pace. So, there we go. Alrighty. So I'll spin the
That was a
wheel.
tough one. I've never actually looked into Great America.
Yeah, that's it. Some of these parks that have like just like so much, it's hard to find what they need.
Yeah, yeah.
Family Boomerang, yeah, that could have also been one kind of in there. Holiday Park in Germany.
Ooh. Aren't they getting a Mac Extreme?
So they are getting a Gerstlauer family coaster, either this year or next year, and then they're getting a Mach Extreme spinner that's I believe just recently been delayed to 2028.
Back a year.
But besides that, all they have is Expedition G-Force, Skyscream, which is a Premier Skyrocket 2, and
Okay.
whatever this family coaster is. Okay, a Zero for like a Zero kiddie coaster, basically.
Wait, what's this one?
Oh, they also just renamed. They're now called Flopsaland Germany, but this is the park of
Oh,
G-Force.
that's right. All right, chat. I'm thinking suspended because there's nothing suspended here. What do you reckon? What about a suspended? What's one at Emerald Park?
Well, here's why I would tell you not to do that. Because if you know, Holiday Park's actually really close, like within an hour's drive of Trips Drill. and they have Hal Zuberkoff,
I
which
didn't know
is
that.
the
Didn't think about
Vekoma STC. That I know is like both, like people do both those parks in a day, or like one right after each other. So I probably would not go that route.
that. True. Hmm. We could still do suspended. What other suspended models do they have?
I mean, you could do. I mean, you could do like a B&M invert or like a
Yep.
Gerstlauer invert if you wanted to do something really weird. Um,
Or do we do like something completely different, like a wing? Or is there any wings around there?
I think Toverland would have the closest one, and I don't know how far it is from there. So, because they got Phoenix, but I don't know if it's actually that close.
Toverland.
I'm gonna just pull up like maps now, just because I'm like that's gonna be useful
Yeah.
in terms of seeing. But it is Europe, so the parks in general just are kind of a little more close together. It feels like.
Is there a wing at Legoland? Is it Deutschland?
Oh yeah, right. There is. But that might honestly be even further than.
You do Expedition G-Force and then you leave. I love that.
Let's see. So, Holiday Park to Toverland's like a 3-hour drive or 3.5-hour drive. And Legoland Germany. Oh, it's actually Legoland Germany is actually closer.
Pretty
It's like
close. Yeah.
2.5 hours.
Ooh. So you'd think this is easy because this park doesn't have much, but then you got to think. Now we're thinking what's close to it.
But I mean, the thing is, there's a lot. I mean, if you really, there is like a lot of, I think, redundancy if you look at European parks, just because it's kind of, we already have a lot. I feel like more coaster models that are close to each other.
I need some help, chat.
Yeah, you also got to think. Yeah, Europa Park's also like pretty close, so
Yeah.
I'd probably avoid anything that they have. I'm trying to think. Yeah, wow, this one is another weird because it's like they don't have that many coasters, but like it's like, well, there's a lot of stuff in the area.
Something with a lift.
You could, well, I don't know why I thought of this. They could use another family type coaster. Actually, honestly, they could because all they have is like a kiddie coaster and their upcoming one. Gravity Group Woody would go kind of hard, like a family Gravity Group Woody, and like all the other ones I think are like in like France and whatever. So actually, that could work.
Like a Bobcat style.
Yeah, because my other idea, this was just kind of insane. It was like a Vekoma tilt. I don't know why. I was just like, I don't know, give him something weird.
I wouldn't
Eh.
be past them. I feel like they might.
So, actually, oh yeah, right. Another thing too is that this is owned by Studio 100 or like the Plopsa Group. So I can also look at the coasters they've added to their respective parks, and that might bring up some ideas. Actually, they have the Plopsa Group. They have added like some GCI coasters to their park. So like a family wooden coaster is actually like very plausible. So
I think we do that. Do we have to go manufacturer or can we just say family Woody?
I mean, just for the sake of it, just I guess whichever one you'd prefer, but it doesn't really matter.
Chat GCI versus Gravity Group. What do you reckon? White Lightning clones.
Yeah, the two they've built are White Lightning clones, which to be fair, I mean, I haven't been at Holiday Park, but that kind of feels like it'd be, just looking at their lineup, I mean, having done a Skyrocket 2, and I mean, G-Force being more of a high, I feel like it'd be nice. I think they're going to say GCI simply because, like, I mean, they've worked with them before, so it probably makes the most sense, so.
Alright, let's do that.
But I like that. And then like yeah, Trip Stroll has a wooden coaster, but like it isn't very good. So um and if this is more of family Woody, then it'll be different. So I like that. Okay, so we have one park each left for the roulette.
This is harder than I thought it
And
was gonna be. Not gonna lie.
yeah, actually, you've gotten some interesting parks. And okay, I got Carowinds. Oh yeah, I also have to make sure. I'm trying to make sure I don't get duplicates of ones we've already done. I think at this point, like in terms of like coaster types, we've been pretty clean up to this point. But
Yeah.
Carowinds, I know it's come up before, so I need to look at what we can't add. Okay, so one of my guests previously had them getting a B&M dive, so I can't do that.
Okay.
Which I think is a very realistic like
Going on
possibility.
mine. Yeah.
Another B&M Hyper
Put a
Giga.
tilt. I think
I mean,
enthusiasts are starting to like, instead of dives, we just want tilts now.
I do like the idea of a tilt coaster. The only thing is I don't know how good the drop's gonna be because
I don't think the drops, like I put like Siren's Curse for instance. I wouldn't care about the drop at all. I would care about the layout after the drop.
yeah, but the layouts look like so sick. So I'm very curious. I mean, we could do a tilt because it's kind of like it's like the same logic of a B&M dive. It's just something kind of different. So I do like that as a potential option. I'm gonna just look at the park just to have the lineup in front of me and see if like anything else because that actually is like pretty nice. Let's see.
Hyper RMC. Oh yeah, they don't have an RMC.
Yeah, we could finally be like, you know what, you're getting RMC hurler, just converting hurler straight up into an RMC.
That would be a bad shout, to be honest.
I mean,
Marty, it's not good. What do you mean?
yeah, that's a pretty decent option. I mean, it's kind of lazy, but
Yeah.
you know what though, I I mean, there's no way Gold Striker is gonna get relocated, but I do like the idea of like just a normal like GCI wooden coaster at Carowinds. I know that's like been in a like enthusiast kind of dream for a while. But honestly, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with GCI Woody for Carowinds because it hasn't come up yet, so I feel like I might as well take advantage
shout.
of that while I can. So I won't say a Gold Striker relocation as much as I'd want it because I mean that's really unrealistic. So
Yeah, that's gonna be so sad.
yeah. Alrighty, last one.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
We have a few Australian parks in here, so it'd be kind of nice if you could get one. Yeah, only a few though. Wow, all the parks you're getting are in the same region.
This makes it really hard.
Wallaby Holland. That's crazy.
This is getting Yoi? Oh yeah. Oh, it's already opened. Oh, it opened
Yeah,
today.
it just opened today. Yeah,
Wow.
I didn't update that yet, but yes, it has. So, congratulations.
RMC. Wait, they have 2 RMCs now.
Yeah, they got Untamed and now, well, 3 technically, but
Oh, they got RMC. Should we put another one in or? Okay, they've got a SLC. Tivoli. Eat My Dust? Is that the name of the coaster? Oh, that's
yeah,
great.
yeah, what a name.
I love parks that just put random names in.
Yeah, I think not too far. Oh, I think yeah, Plopsaland that Japan has the hashtag like me coaster. So some interesting names.
This. Wait, I have an idea. Wait. Always have an idea for this park and then I go, wait, what's close to this park?
Well, so just say it. I mean, we can throw it out
Well,
there.
I was thinking launch. I don't think there's a launch in the park. This park is pretty stacked now, I'm not gonna lie.
They do have a launch, but it's Express Platform 13, which is a outdoor rock and roller coaster clone. But I mean,
Should we knock that down, chat?
yeah, I was gonna say you could just remove it, or you could just have another launch. I mean, 2 launch coasters is not anything out of the ordinary. So like,
Oh yeah, good launch.
Yeah.
Wait, this is like Poltergeist at Fiesta, Texas.
No. It's rock and roller coaster, like the same layout as the one at Disney, at the Disney parks, but it's outdoors.
Okay. Okay. What's chat saying?
I don't B&M Hyper though. I mean, they have Goliath already. I feel like they would be kind of different, but it seems a little redundant.
Another straddle. Straddles are popping up everywhere there.
Actually, this is like also the weird thing is you've gotten the like few European parks that like actually are like really poor in their like family coaster lineups because like Wallaby Holland has to have like one of the worst family coaster lineups in all of Europe because they literally only have 2 rides.
Yeah.
As far as like just having a coaster lineup that big, obviously the overall coaster lineup, especially for having 9 coasters, is excellent. But family coasters, they are lacking.
Are we counting the blue side of?
Oh well, yeah, the blue side of Yoi, I guess you can throw in there.
Like a family.
Yeah, I guess technically that's thrown in there, but like I mean, what are there? They have a Zamperla Junior coaster and a Tivoli coaster. Like those are kiddie coasters basically. So the Big Bear Mountain clone has come up again.
That honestly is a good shout. We could go with a Jungle Rush and Dreamworld.
Oh, the Switchback, okay, like model.
That's not a launch.
Yeah.
Let's stick with launch, chat. I feel like even though they have a launch here, let's do another one. But let's do a family launch. I mean, Big Bear's not a bad shout, to be honest.
Yeah, like a Vekoma family launch, I think would be nice. I'm trying to think, the last coasters this park has gotten. I don't know if that'd be like because those are like really expensive, but let's see. But I mean, I feel like they could do. I mean, I imagine Two Tootsies was pretty up there as far as price goes. So the only thing is, I don't have they worked with Vekoma recently. I don't like this chain. I don't think they have.
Yeah, you might have to just ask RMC if they want to do another one. Keep going, RMC.
RMC Wild Moose.
They could. What parks are close to Wallaby Holland, Netherlands?
So you got Efteling, Toverland are like kind of within distance. I think like Movie Park Germany, I think might be kind of close. Honestly, I think those are the main ones you'd have to worry about.
Below the budget. Wallaby has money.
Slig Heron as well. I mean, the Vekoma family lunch would be nice.
That's what I'm thinking. Who cares about how much it costs? Just chuck it in there.
Although, actually, funnily enough, there is potentially another option. I will just throw it out there. Another coaster opened today, actually, at Wallaby, Belgium. Mechalodon. It's a Gerstlauer family launch coaster. The first, they're calling it Airtime Coaster is the name of the model. That I think could be if you wanted to go for something that like might be realistic. That might be the pick.
How much airtime's in it though? Because there's Goliath has got good airtime. Untamed, whatever.
It's called an Airtime Coaster. Honestly, I mean, I looked at it. There's like a few moments that look like they'll have like some little pops, but like I mean, it's nothing that I don't think it's anything that crazy. So,
okay.
It does look like a nice family coaster though. So.
What? Wait.
Also, the trains are awesome on that thing. Just
there's a launch coaster that got put into some park in Dubai. Is it Dubai? Oh,
what one are you thinking of?
It recently just opened and it looks incredible. Chat, help me out. You probably have no idea what I'm talking about. It might not even be in Dubai, to be honest.
It was-
It's like half indoors, half outdoors.
half indoors, half outdoors. Oh man, I don't know what which one you're talking about.
I don't know where to look up either. Cat knows what I'm talking about. Let's just go with a big bear. Let's do it.
All right. Yeah, we'll go become a launch coaster.
It's been mad.
And I'll
See what
put
other
Big
kind
Bear style. Just
No, that does look good though, Marty. But that's not the one I'm thinking of.
yeah, that was. But You're not thinking. No, Storm's fully indoors. That's the one with the vertical launch.
Nah, I'm pretty sure it's like a family coaster. Oh, this is gonna play on my
Half
mind
indoors,
for
half
all day
outdoors.
now.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know about that one.
That's alright.
Alrighty.
Oh wait, I should be able to go ICDB and see what opened this year, and I'll find it.
Oh, it's something that opened this year.
I feel like it is.
Okay.
You keep going. I'm gonna scroll ICDB.
Okay. But actually, yeah, that was the last one for our global roller coaster roulette. So, we'll move on to, let's see, what's the time here? 25. All right, I think we do have enough time for the 3 fun topics. This is a segment I'm bringing in for the first time. We'll have a Q&A later for those of you who want to ask questions. But I figured I'd like to just ask some questions that are to guests that aren't necessarily coaster or theme park related. Just kind of some fun ones. Seen some other podcasts do it. So with you being from Australia, one of the things Australia is kind of known for is just dangerous animals in general.
Yep.
So do you have a craziest animal interaction or experience that you can think of? If you need to think about it, I can go with mine. I'd hope your answer can potentially outdo mine, but
Not really. We just get snakes everywhere. Like some, I don't know, it depends on time of year, but like sometimes I'll just get home from work and then there'll just be like one in the driveway or one in the backyard, and it's just like, we're in like a suburban area, like it's just random. There'll just be some like, and like I don't know reptiles and anything like that, so it's sometimes hard to identify it. And sometimes it's like a python, which is like harmless.
yeah.
But I'm still not picking that crap up. Like I'm not going anywhere near it.
Well, unless you're asleep and it coils around you, then it might be a problem. But
We haven't had one in our house yet, so that's great.
That's good.
Other than that, I came down to this room 2 nights ago, and I was sitting here editing for about 2 minutes. This is an animal, by the way. This is an insect. And I look to my left, and there's this massive spider about the size of my hand.
Oh.
Just sitting there. And I can't do spiders. Like, nah. And I just shat myself. And I was like, stuff this. But other than, like, spiders and snakes, I don't think there's many other animals that we really get that are, I don't know, like
Okay.
dangerous around here, unless you go out into the wild, into the wilderness. But yeah, what were you gonna say?
So I had like a few different ones for mine. Actually, funnily enough, I have not in like my house, but like when I used to run cross country and there was this park, you had to be a little careful in terms of like seeing if there were like rattlesnakes around. And there were sometimes like they were just like kind of on the ground, but usually they just scurry away. They wouldn't like actually do anything. And the other thing too is it was hard to tell if they were a rattlesnake or something else unless like they were still or fortunately I've never had one that actually rattled on me, but obviously that would be a telling sign if it did. But I guess my like craziest experience, so I have actually swam in the Georgia aquarium tank. That's like the tank in Atlanta that has the whale sharks and whatnot. So I did that when I was like, I think 12 or 13. So that was pretty cool. The whale shark, you're not allowed to touch like the fin of the animal or anything, but like if they touch you, it happens, and that almost happened to me.
Oh,
So
God.
That was pretty crazy. I've done a little bit of snorkeling here and there since I was younger too. But that probably would be the one I go with, just because it is pretty unique. The only other thing is, one time I was vacationing in Mexico. If you'd probably have to look up an image on Google, but there's these animals they have there called coatis. They're kind of like raccoons, but like they have a longer snout. I was eating pizza at my hotel and they tried to steal it from me and tried to crawl on me.
No way.
So that one was kind of funny. So those are my picks, as far as some of the weird animal experiences I've had. So next one, favorite non-theme park place you have visited, and this can be pretty wherever you want to go with it, city, landmark, attraction. I decided to go with like just a one location place. I'm not like a particularly religious person. I was more so impressed from an architectural standpoint, but if you've ever heard of the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, it's this huge, basically cathedral. It's the tallest in the world. It's just like insane, the size and scale of it. It has some beautiful stained glass. Actually, the inside, the way the light is really cool. That's my favorite place I've ever been to, just because it was like almost like surreal and like kind of almost alien like, just because the architecture is so weird. It was really cool. So that was incredible. What about you?
Mine is actually just recently when I went to Japan. So before that, it was probably like you know the strip in Pigeon Forge.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I went there in 2023, driving in there at like we arrived at about 12 a.m. on a Saturday night, and we were just like, "What is going on?" It was just like the craziest like place to drive into at that time. Just a lot was going on then. So before that, it was probably like that area, and yeah, just that whole Pigeon Forge area is amazing. But since I went to Japan, they've got a place called Dotonbori, which is just food shops. They've got shopping outlets. They've got this long strip. It's just, I don't know how long it goes for, miles, and there's just people walking everywhere, like so many people. They've got shops on both sides, and yeah, it was just incredible. If you've never been to Japan, go to Japan.
And this is in Osaka, or?
Osaka. Yeah, I only went to Osaka because the company that sent me there only sent me to Osaka. I'm like praying. Send me to Tokyo. But yeah, no, that is incredible. And people have said that Osaka's nowhere near as cool as like some of the other places in Japan. So I definitely need to go back. But yeah, Japan, just go there, chat. It's so good. It's so good.
I desperately need to get out there. I have a friend who has family there. He's been multiple times, so we've talked about it for a while. I have another friend who's an enthusiast who he went recently. So it's like, all right, I got some people I can potentially go with. I just got to figure out time and money, basically.
Yeah. Like, honestly, the parks are like a bonus to visiting Japan. Because just the country itself is amazing. Just the food is so good. You could live in 7-Eleven. You could live in it.
Yeah, I've heard high praise for the 7-Elevens over there, so
good.
That's good. And if I'm going there for the first time, 100%, I'd mostly be doing other stuff. And if I was in the Tokyo area, like I would do like the Tokyo Disney Resort, and
absolutely.
But that I probably wouldn't do too many parks on like a first visit. That's more like if I go back again, I might do like a trip focused on that, like if I went another time. So yeah, no, but that's really cool.
There's a lot of vending machines.
Oh well, that I know. So but that's cool. And our last one is hot food take, just whether it's a restaurant, a chain, a specific food item.
Raisin cane sauce, not good.
No way. There is I had that written down. Okay, I kid you not. I had Raisin Cane's as mid written down.
Let's go.
There
Cane
is
sauce.
no way.
But I will say, I think that the chicken pieces are better at Raising Cane's. Because when I had it in Texas, I don't know if you heard about the story, but myself, Airtime Mike, and Caleb from Costa Cuzzies, we got stuck in the Six Flags Fiesta parking lot for like 4 hours after the park closed because my rental had a flat tire. So
Oh, that's
we were
not
just
good.
sitting in there. Then they went off to Raising Cane's and brought it back. So we were pretty much having a picnic in the car park for like 4 hours.
That's funny.
But yes, if I could get the chicken from Raising Cane's and dip it into Chick-fil-A sauce, I think that's the best combo.
Interesting. You see, I'm not the biggest fan of Cane's, but I kind of have like the opposite thing. I feel like the sauce is like what. I mean, it doesn't even elevate it to like a crazy high standard like I've seen for other people. But I feel like the chicken by itself isn't anything that great, but like the sauce makes it better. But even then, like, I mean, as far as chicken places go, I would take Chick-fil-A or Popeyes, although that's just because I probably part of the preferences. I like the sandwiches better there.
Yep.
As far as chicken sandwich goes, Popeyes is my favorite. Just
Spicy chicken sandwich?
throw that out there. Not the spicy one. I can't really do spicy too much, but just like the regular. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Hot food take. Johnny Rockets is good. That is kind of a hot take, actually.
I've only had Johnny Rockets on a cruise ship here in Australia. I've never actually had it over there.
I think maybe when I was younger, I had it like at the actual restaurant, but I've only had it at like amusement parks. And based on that experience, not great. But I mean, that's not really a fair evaluation. Oh wait, and then once at an airport, but yeah, it didn't impress me then either. So.
But yeah, I when I go to the States, I eat so much fast food. So like, I don't know if you saw my trip, but I ate a lot of like. What I do is like right now I'm on a diet, like a very strict diet. So I like because I leave for my next trip in just over a month, chat. But yeah, I do a massive diet, and then when I go overseas, I just eat like so much food. It's great.
Hey, that's a good way to go. I mean, when I go to especially like a different country, when I'm fortunate enough to be able to do so, I mean, heck yeah, I'm gonna be eating a ton of food.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I just did a trip to Italy earlier this year. Actually didn't do any parks. It was not the time of year. Plus, it just didn't really make a line with the schedule. But the pizza in Italy is truly elite. I will say that much. And there were some really nice desserts there. So, yeah, I think that'll do it for our 3 fun topics, and that'll lead us into our final Q&A or buy or sell. Chris has been a previous guest of the stream, so if you kind of apply the logic of the videos, if you have like a buy or sell take, we can answer that as well. But any last questions you have, let us know, and that'll pretty much be the plan. So yeah, there we go.
Is chat asking us questions here?
Yes, yeah. So chat, ask away, and I just want to see the stuff because it's fun. Around here locally, like Raisin Cane's is like saying a bad thing about it is hard. It just like recently opened here in like the last few years, and like so many people love it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan actually.
I think it's mid.
Yeah, so although I also I've come around on In-N-Out. I still think it's a smidge overrated, but I used to be way harsher.
Okay.
But I've had it more, and I'm like, you know what? I do legitimately see why people really like it, so I'm not gonna bash on it. But there's some places I don't get it. So
I don't think it's the best, but I think it's decent.
Marty asked why you only went to Osaka. I know you answered that, but if you want to go over it again.
So I got sent over there by the company called Klook, which you probably would have seen me promoting in my videos. So I had like content that I had to do for them, and they sent me over there. So I got a free trip out of it, which I was very appreciative of. But Yeah, that's why I only had 3 days there, so I could only do Osaka. But there is plans, Marty. Maybe I'm going back. Stay
Yeah,
tuned.
that would be a lot of fun to be able to do that. Um, I'll leave this up to you in terms of if you want to answer this one. As far as how you made your GeoGuessr map, up to you in terms of if you want to answer.
It took me a long time. So pretty much I started just with RCDB and I went to every single region, every single park that is still operating, and some not even operating, and just went from most coasters down to one and just added as many as I could. Now, some parks you unfortunately can't. A lot of parks in China don't have Street View.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little tip for any creators that are
Yeah,
coming up.
that's what I find crazy. It's like when people guess China, I'm like, have you ever looked on like tried to look at it on satellite view? It's like you can't hardly do any. There's not a lot of places where they have
There
that.
is
So.
some parks in China, but it's in a specific spot that has
Mm-hmm.
maybe the park front, right at the front there. So that's all you got to go off. But it's a tricky one. But I have to keep refreshing it. So next season, I'm going to have to refresh it again to get not only different locations in that park, but maybe GeoGuess has or Google's updated their map to add more places so I can put more parks in. But it's kind of a tricky one. But after I did every park with a roller coaster, I also had to add parks because some theme parks or amusement parks may not have a roller coaster, but they're still classed as an amusement park. So I had to do top amusement parks in this country and then get all them. I think there's one coming up that's like it's like the randomest park ever. It's like a kids park, but someone got tossed it, and I feel bad for them. But hey, technically it's an amusement park, so yeah, it took a long time, and I'm gonna have to do it all again before the next season. So
Dang, that is a crazy grind though. I do respect the effort, but yet that is crazy. This question for me, what do I think will happen? So I'm my local city. For those who don't know, I live in Fresno, California. We just had one of our little parks, or really our only actual like amusement park, Playland Fresno, just recently permanently closed a few weeks ago. And I was there outside of the site today because I had to be in the region for a school project earlier. And I didn't realize, but yeah, the previous operators, they put in a bunch of fair rides, so they actually took them out. So there's just a bunch of empty space in the park. I don't know what's going to happen with that site, really at all. I don't think it's going to be reused as a park because they'd have to add so many like new rides. I didn't even consider it until I looked at it today, the amount of work that was going to take. So, they might clear the land and use it as like I don't know, like maybe a venue site or something. I'm not really sure, honestly. That potentially be my guess is clear it out and like make it a like small venue site because it's park it's in is like popular for like picnics and birthdays and stuff. So that might be the plan there. For those of you who do not follow, I apologize. You had to listen to me give in-depth analysis on Playland Fresno. But anyways, I just read it as soon as I clicked.
Brie. Wait, let's talk about Six Flags St. Louis for a second. It's more turned into a running joke, really. I can't hate the park itself because I haven't experienced it, right? The only thing that happened was the security guard and I guess head of security, right? And I'm not even sure if they get a company from outside to be their security. They might, I'm not too sure. So for me to go back to Six Flags St. Louis, I'm definitely going back if all they got to do is say sorry about your experience. One, our website was not updated because they didn't have the no GoPros rule.
Mm-hmm.
So that wasn't on the website. So that wasn't ever a rule. So they either say, sorry, we didn't update the website in time. We were meant to have that rule on the website. Or two, the security guards were wrong and they told you the wrong thing. And if they apologize, I'll go back.
Yeah,
But now
I
it's
was
just turned into a running joke. Really.
I was still I remember watching that way back, and I was surprised that that was an issue, especially because you had been to like a ton of other Six Flags parks, and it was like no problem. So I know that like each place kind of can have like its own like individual sets of rules here and there, but that's like a really kind of weird if it's even actually like it may have been like incorrectly or there was like a misunderstanding in terms of how it's supposed to be enforced, but it seemed really weird.
Yeah,
For sure.
I just think it was the security guards on the day, and they just wanted to be big old tough people.
Good. That there. Yeah. That that also could be the case. Um, let's see. Charge says that Cookout and Freddy's are his favorite fast food places. I've never been to Cookout.
Cookout's amazing.
Okay.
The menu's confusing because I struggle on that menu, but it's so good. And Freddy's, I definitely want to try next time I go.
I've been to Freddy's. Burgers were pretty solid, but they do have some really nice. I think they do call it frozen custard. Like the stuff they had, I had one there. That was really good. So I can definitely say in that department they do live up to the hype. So, and then my and Jace also seconds Freddy's. So there you go. As does actually, yeah, I think that's the praise we've seen for it. Buy or sell moto coaster. Wait, which moto coaster? Okay, let me look this up.
Don't look it
up. Okay. The one are we talking about the one in the park in China that just closed in January?
No, it'd be the Dream World one, I would assume.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Oh wait, okay, Dream World. Okay, good that we got that clarified. There's another coaster that closed this year, so I thought it might have been that one. Okay, but no, it is the Dream World one.
I would assume so, yeah.
So you think it will be relocated?
It only has one train now. They totally got rid of the second train. The restraints are one of the worst restraints ever created.
Yeah, I've heard they're bad.
I don't know what Intamin was thinking back in 2007, but they were on some whack shit back then. So, I don't know. The layout's just not good either. It's just boring. Like they try and sell it as a thrill coaster, but it really is just not thrilling.
Yeah, I've heard not so good things about it, and I'm just looking at the layout right now. What even is this?
It's so bad. It's so bad.
This is like, I mean, legit, it looks like a Tivoli coaster layout if you just added like I mean, wow, this is, yikes. Okay.
Knowing Dreamworld, I think they would try to sell it to start off with.
I don't think anyone's buying, though.
I don't know. There's some parks in maybe India or something. But,
Goombaya World takes another shot.
Nah. I don't think any park in Australia would buy it.
That'd be so fun. Imagine, though, it's like we got Buzzsaw, now we're getting motor coaster.
Well, we don't know where the Claw went, so I'm not sure if you've heard of the Claw, but it's like a intimate swing ride. That has got moved to a different park. No idea where that's gone. If it did get sold, it would definitely go to like a India or something. That's my guess.
I'm gonna sell this though. I think this thing would get. They might try to sell it, but I don't think it'd be successful. So I'm sell. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, you mentioned like a park in India. There is actually like this chain that is buying like dead coasters. It's like. Okay. They bought like a long like SBNO Batman clone from like Kuwait or something.
Really?
So yeah,
okay.
There's like a little chain that's like resurrecting some like obscure rides that it's like, oh okay, now this is back, I guess, after like 10 years of being defunct. That's funny. Memphis Kiddie Park. From the was that the last one with Coaster Studios and Mark?
It's funny because I added all these locations for the map, and because there's so many locations I just can't remember. Mm-hmm. So I was agreeing that it was in Memphis because I had no idea, and I kind of felt bad because we couldn't find it on the map. So, That happened. I assume there's a Cleveland Kitty Park in in Memphis. It's called Cleveland Kitty Park.
That'd be funny. I'm guessing there's like maybe like a little neighborhood or a little district called Memphis, and that's why it's
Possibly,
called
yeah.
that. But like, yeah, wow, what a way to.
It
I
just goes to
didn't.
show, like, I know Taylor's been to so many places. It still, it still makes you think.
Yeah, I like how Mark like knew that it was in Ohio, and he that yeah, he said I think like a few seconds that like he was gonna be shocked. That was so funny.
I did the same thing when we were in Australia. I was like, I'm sorry,
That's
mate.
true. Yeah, that was a tough round for Mark for sure. Let's see what else we got. You can't, not gonna lie, you can't watch the GeoGuessr videos. It infuriate. There are some times where I'm like, I mean, of course, everyone's gonna have different knowledge and different things, and some people like Zero Roll actually does like a really good job with like I think like the highway signs. Is that right?
Bree,
Like
you surprised me with some things you know.
Like I
I
think
think
like the highway signs, it's like I would
yeah,
not be doing very good there. But I think I recalled that she was like really good with that. And there's some other people that like there's like little things that they are able to tell that I'm like, okay, yeah, I would be cooked here. Um, that being said, sometimes the Asian parks, it's like if they have the English name, I can like tell where it is based on where it is, and that's kind of like sometimes it's hard to see people miss out on that. So along with like some other ones that I know, someone got Blackbeards, my local FEC once. I forget what episode
is.
that
That rings a
was,
bell. That rings a bell.
but I remember seeing that. I'm like, oh my, I'm like that is so funny. I'm like, yeah, I'm like I don't blame. I don't think whoever got it, but that was
That
so funny.
when I if you go back to season one, we had this. It wasn't my map; it was some random map, and we were just getting. It was too easy. Like it was so easy. Everyone was getting it, so I had to make this new map with really hard rounds to even stump the best people, or else it wouldn't be a challenge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, it's definitely a really fun series to watch, and like the there is luck involved, obviously, but that kind of adds to like the fun and the chaos of it. Because like the first, I think it was Coaster Cousins had like one run of like all American parks. It was like,
Yeah, yeah. We'll be changing up for season 4. We just gotta. It's tricky. I've emailed GeoGuessr on ways to get other people's recordings. They said there's no way. So what
dang.
I'd have to do is get the guests that come on to record their screen, their gameplay. It adds a whole different level to it. We're gonna try and make it happen, but it's a difficult one to do. But I feel like we'll do it.
So wait, let me get this straight. So the person who's actually, so you're saying the person who's participating is doing like their own map, but they would have to screen record or
They will be doing my map, but
okay.
they will be controlling it. That's a lot of people
Yeah,
said.
but they're controlling it with their mouse. That's what I'm
Correct.
saying.
And a lot of people have said, why don't you just let them control it? And that is what we're eventually going to do. But if we do it the way it's being recorded now, it'd just be them playing and me sitting here like, like I think because I control it, it adds like, verbal. You know what I mean. So that's what you want for content. You don't want to just be sitting in silence and not talking, and then you need that kind of stuff.
I get that. And I mean, I saw some people suggest that. I'm like, logistically, that kind of sounds like a nightmare. So I'm like, I wasn't, I mean, but I can see why, for those coming on, how it could potentially be easier. But I think the way you've done it, I mean, I haven't done it, but just from seeing it, it seems like it works pretty well. So, but I'll be excited to see how season 4 is. So,
It's gonna be crazy.
um, let's see. What else? is come up. If you could move one American coaster to Australia, what would it be? Oh, that's a great question.
Ooh. My first thought is RMC because we don't have an RMC.
Oh, but I think they're like saying a specific coaster.
Yeah,
Like you can
okay.
just pick any one.
Would it be a cop out to just pick my number one? You know what I mean? Like,
No, I wouldn't say so.
See the what would I re-ride the most is actually the good question here.
Yeah, that's also
Because I'm thinking like if I pick Hagrid's, do I get the theming as well?
I would just assume so.
I haven't been on it yet, but like Guardians at Epcot, apparently that's good.
Yeah, that's in my just barely, but it's in my top 10. So
Okay.
although I'll just say I've done 200 a little over 200 coasters. So
Okay. Because obviously most people are thinking I'll just pick Iron Gwazi because that's my number one right now, but because it has like no theming and no, because I love experiences. Like coasters are great, but like a themed coaster with an experience, rewritability. Like I know a lot of people rewrite Guardians just to try and get a different song. Yeah, I'd probably pick. Because I haven't been on Guardians, I can't pick that, but I have heard that's good. But I'll probably pick like Hagrid's or something.
okay,
Just
all right,
rewrite it.
okay,
Rewritability.
yeah, no,
Is that a bad choice, chat? I don't know.
admittedly, I would love to get a night ride on Hagrid's because like I know that at night that thing's gonna be so good and it'd like elevate it so much for me. But admittedly, I mean, I I'll just say I'm maybe a little lower than some other people are on it. But it's still obviously a very good coaster. I mean, obviously the level of theming is insane, and it's like very fun. So
It's yeah, like my night ride front row I had on it I'm pretty sure it's still in my top 10. And it is. This is gonna infuriate people, especially Bree. Which is Bree's still in the chat. It's higher than Velocicoaster for me, so that's saying something.
I mean, honestly, as someone who has Beast in Night Ride like super high in my rankings,
That's great.
like
I love that.
number two overall, but it has to be at night. Otherwise, it's literally not even a top 40 coaster.
I remember, so on my Compass challenge that I did, I went to Kings Island and I was like, I need to get a night ride, and that was. It kind of sucks because I go out of the park after I finish and spin the wheel, and I was riding Beast at night at like 10:30 p.m. Had no idea where I was driving next. So I was like, I'm not missing this night ride on Beast. And the first half is okay, but I think the second half of Beast is just wild, and especially going up that lift hill. I don't know if you remember it in your brain, but going up that lift hill at night and then it crests that hill and you just see the park in front of you. At night, it's just so good.
No, it is fantastic overall. I mean, and the atmosphere at night is I mean, absolutely incredible. So
I remember I sat down and this guy sits next to me and I was like, "What do you?" He's like, "Oh, I work here." I was like, oh,
That's
"Work
funny.
is just come and ride it at night." Yeah, okay.
There you go. But I mean, I haven't ridden a coaster in Australia, but if I were to pick one and be greedy, although I mean, America has so many great coasters, we would not need DC rivals. But I guess if I were to do a coaster outside of America that I've personally ridden, that I would plop into the U.S. if I could. Ooh, I wouldn't do Medusa Steel's my favorite I've done, but I mean, we have a ton of RMCs already, so I'd want to do something that is a little different. This is weird, but I'd like be between Superman El Ultimo Escape, the Morgan Hyper at Six Flags Mexico. That's my number 2 coaster I've done outside the U.S. It's really good, and it's not like it's pretty darn different, I think, than most of the hypers I've done, especially because it has like some really good positive G's and laterals. But man, I also like weirdly like Furious Baco at Port Aventura like a lot. It's actually my favorite coaster at that park, which is
really?
definitely a hot take, and it's really unique. But I think I gotta go Superman Ultimo Escape. I mean, that ride is so good. Somehow I would need the terrain to go with it because it has some nice terrain usage.
True.
But yeah, that ride is awesome. So I would do that. And then I assume probably countries that we haven't been to. What country do we want to visit the most for coasters? Riley, you can go first for this.
Ooh. That's interesting. Just for coasters, or if we're not including the theme park? Because some parks in some countries have great theme parks, but they might not have good coasters. So just for coasters? Ooh. What has... I feel like China has the most like unique coasters because some are just knockoffs and you just want to ride them because they might be bad, but I don't care. Just
China would definitely, although I don't know what countries you necessarily haven't been to, so to be fair, I can't judge off that. But I mean, China would be an interesting pick for sure.
That's what I'm thinking. I haven't been to Europe, so maybe Germany, maybe UK. France. I don't know. They're all pretty good picks, aren't they?
Yeah, my pick's easy now, especially because now with the loss of Dodonpa and Ejinaika potentially being up in the air, I used to have Japan and Germany neck and neck, but now, like I said, Dodonpa gone, Ejinaika, what's even going to happen there? Hopefully it's able to reopen, but I mean, who knows? And then Germany getting Voltron. I'm going to pick Germany. I think at this point it's not a contest for me personally. For reference, I live in the U.S., so I've done that. I've been to Mexico, Spain. I haven't ridden any coasters in Italy, and Vatican City has no coasters, so that doesn't really matter. But I've been there. And the Netherlands I have been to technically, but say I haven't done any coasters. I was there for like less than 24 hours.
Okay.
So
Germany's a pretty popular pick for a lot of people, actually. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'd have to go Germany. So,
yep.
Let's see. Marty said, I think was like in terms of the relocation idea for Moto Coaster, please don't give it to Rainbow's End. Dang. Let's see.
You can have it. We don't want it.
Let's see. The map is not public, I'm pretty sure. The GeoGuessr map? Nah, you have that on private.
Because, people could just easily practice and practice.
People could practice and cheat that way, so. Nah, I totally get not having it out there. Let's see. Trying to look through chat.
Yeah, shout out to chat. There's a lot of...
There's a lot, yeah. There's a lot.
He's cheated. How did he cheat?
He somehow rigged the map. That was like actually that was a crazy. I could not believe watching that. I'm like, oh my gosh, how lucky that was. I also do have Hulk over Hagrid's. I'm in agreement. But like I said, night ride, front row. I didn't get a front row ride either, so that would probably also help. But I legitimately think that would like elevate it a lot for me. I don't know if it would be to that level because I have Hulk like pretty darn high, but yeah.
Terrible ride. So I don't like it.
All right, that's fair.
I like the launch and the first barrel roll coming out of the launch, and then we can get off the ride after that. I'm happy.
All right, okay. I mean, hey, that's fair. let's see. Yeah, let's
There's a lot of questions. Shout out to you,
or
chat.
more like just like not necessarily questions, but just different feedback on different things. Um, let's see. I think we are caught up to questions. It's just there's been a lot of conversation in the chat that it's like hard to tell. I guess I'll do like any like last opportunity for like questions, any last ones you have, and then um, probably in about 5 minutes sound good. We can probably wrap this thing up.
Sounds good.
Alrighty.
Last questions.
Let's see. And then also, if I somehow missed your question, just let us know again. Yeah, because it's very possible I may have just missed it. Let's see. Favorite fast food place in America?
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A is yours? Okay.
I just like the sauce. Love the sauce. What's yours?
So I think it's interesting because I've previously said, and we've actually done like fast food tier lists like on these streams before previously. We've done a few of them, and it's weird because I always said that Culver's was my favorite, but the reason I had it as my favorite is because of a limited edition burger they had, the Wisconsin. I think it was the Big Cheese Pub Burger. That was so good. But normally it's still like really good, like really high up there. But I don't know that I could say it's my favorite just based on like their normal items. But it's still definitely very high up in my rankings. Although funnily enough, a friend of mine just had Culver's and he said he didn't get the hype, but apparently. No one in his group got the cheese curds. I'm like, what?
I didn't get it either. Don't worry.
Okay.
I don't research anything, so as soon as I posted that video of me eating Culver's and not getting the cheese curds, everyone was like, "What are you doing?"
That was okay. To be fair, the friend that I knew who was going on that trip, he's allergic to milk, so he literally could not have it. So that I was kind of like, yeah, but I'm like, I looked at everyone else's thing because he got a picture, and I'm like, does no one have cheese curds? And he's like, no, why? And I'm like, oh, you had to get them.
I'll be getting it next time for sure.
Yeah, but hey, I mean, you were able to try it at least, so. Because if it's not that, man, like absolute favorite. I mean, like my go-tos locally are like Chipotle, Panda Express. Although I will say, as far as Panda Express goes, quality control if you go in different areas, definitely seen that it's not great in some other areas. So, and actually, Chipotle also can potentially vary from location to location, just more so the portions they give you, but that also might be dependent on staff. So, because there's been some locations or times where they've been extremely frugal, and like other times where I think maybe they have a new person on the block and they're like really they pack that thing in. So, those would be some go-tos. So probably those would be some that would be my favorites.
Answer Marty's. No, you're incorrect. DC Rivals is number one. We can move on from that question.
Hold up, I didn't see the question.
He was saying Leviathan is number one in Australia.
Oh.
It's number two.
I've heard good things about it. Are you going to Six Flags America next time you're in the US?
So, I don't choose where I go. That's the whole thing about my channel is my long form content, so my YouTube content is only series. You'll only get series on it. So, you'll get, right now I'm doing the GeoGuessr series when I'm not traveling. And when I'm traveling, you'll get a series. So, even when I go to a park, I don't know what's happening on that day. So every single video is like a challenge. So that's what I'm doing when I leave next month. So the only way for me to go to Six Flags America is with luck, I guess.
if you want to call it that.
The only time I go to a specific park to do content is, say, I got sent to Japan, so I had to do content for that park, and that is only short form content because my I don't know if anyone follows me on TikTok or like Instagram or something, but my short form content does pretty decent sometimes, and that's the biggest like outreach of people I can get out to with my short form content. Whereas long form's a bit harder to do that. So, say I get invited to a media day, I'll only do short form content for them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the way I roll.
All right. Well, you can clearly have a plan, so that's obviously good. So, got everything sorted out there.
Yep.
Let's see. Hulk over Decepticon. Oh yeah, Connects Expert. Oh yeah, Connects Expert got to go to Universal Beijing, Shanghai Disneyland, and do Dinoconda over the past 2 weeks. So that's awesome.
Oh no way, Hulk's better.
Yeah, I
It's a
mean,
clone, right?
so from my understanding, and if Connexpert wants to elaborate, basically Decepticoaster is like kind of a clone of Hulk, except all the elements are kind of like I think they're like kind of elongated to be like less forceful. So
That better then.
it also has the vest restraints as well. So
Okay.
my understanding is it's not quite as intense, and it I think smoother as well. I mean, it's newer, so I'd hope so. But although I didn't find roughness to be an issue on Hulk, but I know that not everyone thinks the same of that. So yeah, let's see. Any other questions?
3D is better than Kings Island.
Oh, that's a take. Never been to King's Dominion, but oh man, I mean Kings Island's one of my all-time favorite parks. So
Kings Island is the best, like all round. It's like an all-rounder park. Like to me, there's nothing in my top 20. I want to say at that park, but it's a good park. Like, it's a good all-rounder. Whereas King's Dominion, yeah, it depends how you're comparing the two. Because obviously they've got Pantherian, however you say that, which that is in my top 10.
and then Twisted Timbers as well is going to be high for a decent amount of people. So
Yeah.
I get if you look, I guess if you're saying like from a coaster lineup standpoint, I could see why you would say Kings Dominion over Kings Island, just because like yeah, the top level coasters for most people are going to be better. But overall as a park, I mean, I find that interesting.
A lot of it's a funny one. A lot of people fight back and forth about those two.
Actually, Zero Reroll also agrees that King's Dominion is better than King's Island. That I don't know where I've been. That is not a take I've seen like hardly anywhere. But okay.
And she thinks Kings Island's pretty mid from what I remember.
All right. I mean, fair enough. I haven't been to King's Dominion, so hey, maybe it'll absolutely blow me away, and I'll be on board. But
I will say it's a lot prettier, King's Dominion. There's so many trees in the park, and it's a lot prettier park.
okay.
In my opinion.
And they got singing mushrooms, so like that I mean, that automatically makes it better. Let's see. And then Beijing Jurassic. Oh yeah, because he did the Jurassic Park ride at Universal Studios Beijing, which looks like one of the best dark rides in the world. Is way better than Shanghai Pirates. Shanghai Pirates is only good in the front right. Okay, I don't know if it's signed seating, but I'll try to remember that if I'm over there. Probably will be a while, but never know. Boats are so big that you can't see anything in the middle seats. Although I'll also keep that in mind for whenever California Adventure opens our Avatar boat ride, because it's going to be in all likelihood, the same system. So, actually, Connexpert says that the Decepticoaster was a little rough throughout, and actually is rougher than Hulk. That's interesting.
That is very interesting.
Well, B&M nowadays.
It's new B&M, yeah. It's gonna have a rattle.
Yeah. I haven't looked too deeply into the Raptera reviews, but I do know that that one has like a decent bounce to it. So,
Bounce.
I mean, you can see very clearly from like the reaction POVs
Yeah,
that
you've been on it. I
especially on the
think
launch track.
I think it's there, but you're not going to think about it. Like the GP's not going to think, oh, this thing's bouncing. This is ruining my whole ride. I think it'll be a solid ride for what they needed at that park.
Apparently so. I mean, I saw on like one of the preview days, or maybe it was first day,
3 hours.
um, that it had like a crazy like three plus hours or something wait, I think. So, although I don't know if they were having train issues or something like that, but still, I mean, hey, it's popular, so that's good.
It's. I also want to say that it seems like such a shame because I feel like they ran out of budget or they ran out of money for the station because it's like a tin shed.
Actually, okay, I actually don't think that. I think
Really?
maybe there, or maybe it did. The idea for it came out of like a budget cut, but like it does actually make sense why it looks like a scaffolding site because it's like they're excavating the stuff. So it actually does. I do actually understand. Like I think they did that going with the theme. I'm more so just disappointed they didn't put a near miss element on the final roll. I just think that's kind of nuts because it's like, I mean, I've seen the pictures and video of the queue line. It's like, I mean, the theming for Six Flags slash Cedar Fair standards looks incredible. But I'm like, man, if they could have put a near miss element on that final inversion, that would have. I mean, the ride I've heard is still great regardless, but I'm like, that would have been, I think, an even more special way to end the ride. But people have liked it, so.
I think that that station maybe was like a plan B for them because they did say there was going to be like a pre-launch theming building, wasn't there? So I feel like they would have had all these in place, and then they would have had the budget cuts some places, and unfortunately some have got taken out. Still looks okay though.
Yeah, no, like if it was, well, I at least think just from what I've seen, it actually like they made it make sense with the theme because it's like, oh, well, it's like an excavation site, so it's like
Okay.
the area they haven't excavated yet. And I've been like, I mean, I've been to like areas where they're doing stuff like that, and so I'm like, okay, yeah, I kind of get that idea. So, um, I can uh take it pretty much. Um, let's see. I think that is it as far as questions go. I think we did.
Mid stick timbers. Sorry, I just had to say that. You probably like Mystic Timbers.
Mm-hmm.
I call it. Well, it was mid stick timbers, and then last time I wrote it, it was slightly above mid stick timbers. So,
You know, I will. That's an interesting one. I'll just say on that one, I going in, everyone was hyping up. I'm like, there is no way that this thing is actually that good because I'm just like, I mean, I'm like, yeah, it has like a decent bit of airtime, but it doesn't look like anything that special like compared to other GCIs. But I mean, then I wrote it, and I will say it does give a tremendous night ride as well. So I will say that. But even outside of the night rides, it was excellent. That it is actually a top 20 coaster for me. It's funny because if you probably watch streams like before I wrote it, I probably did kind of trash on it before having written it. But at least for me, I definitely can see why it lives up to the hype. But I mean, at the same time, I can also potentially see as far as GCIs go, it's not like super intense per se. I don't think the laterals are quite as good as some of the others. So in comparison, so
it's got the best pacing on a Woody that I've been on. Like the pacing is great on it.
yeah, it is.
But I don't know. For me, I just want like El Toro is in my top 10, and just because of those two Camelback hills, just because I love sustained ejector. So that's what I personally like, and that's why it's. I don't know. It just doesn't have any of those massive hills, which is what I love.
That's fair. I think that is going to do it for the stream, though. So I think I will wrap up the questions there. Riley, do you have any last things you want to say before you head out here?
No, thank you, chat. This has been amazing. Thank you for all chiming in with those questions and the whole stream. It was incredible. This is the first time I've done like a live. I do TikTok lives, but other than that, not really on YouTube or anything. So this is sick. I like this. This is awesome.
Yeah, no, absolutely happy to have you on. Despite, as mentioned way earlier, you're just a crazy time difference.
So good.
Although I think in some ways it isn't as bad as like the guests I had in the UK and Denmark. I think timing wise it was like actually way more inconvenient just because of how it worked. But still, it's very impressive. So very much appreciate you having you on, and then also having obviously all of you, the viewers, ask some great questions and some great interactions throughout the stream. And yeah, no, it was absolutely a great stream. So with that being said, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time here on Coaster Hour. See you all.